Hello guys, assalamu alaikum. I hope you're all well and having a good day. So today we'll be discussing regarding a very important trigonometric topic, which is the trigonometric maxima and minima. And I know this is a simple thing in which you guys are still facing a lot of issues, though it's not that easy to understand, but it will require a little bit of hard work from your end in order to understand this. And I will try my level best in order to make it as easy as possible. So without wasting any more time, let's start. Now here, what you guys can see is they have given us a couple of expressions, right? They have given us 4 expressions, and out of this, what we have to do basically is we will have to figure out a maximum value of these expressions and the smallest theta at max of these expressions. So this becomes a little difficult to understand them by this. So what we will do is the first thing we will figure out the maximum value of this expression, as they have given us the maximum. So how do we figure out the maximum value of this expression? You can see that it is a sine x, right? It is sine x. So the first thing that we will have to do is we'll have to figure out the maximum value of the sine function. So if we go here, we will see that the maximum value of the sine graph is this one, right? This is the maximum value, which is 1. Okay, so what we will do is we know that this sine theta is maximum at 1, so we will multiply it with its coefficient, so it will become 20 into 1 is 20, right? So this is our answer for the first one. Now the second one is a little tricky. So here they have asked us to find out the smallest theta where this maximum value happens, the smallest theta at which, or the smallest degree at which the maximum value occurs. So this maximum value is occurring at this smallest, right? The sine x graph is maximum in this value as well as this one, right? But they have asked us to figure out the smallest theta value at max. So it is maximum at the smallest theta value when it is 90. It is also at 450 and 810, but they have asked us the smallest value, so we will pick 90 because out of these three, 90 is the smallest value. So the answer will be 90. Now this is not that easy, it becomes a little tricky. So we'll go through all the examples that is possible to go through and all the different examples that can come in your exam. The next one is 5 minus 10 sine theta. Okay, now here we know sine x is maximum at 1, right? The sine x is maximum at 1. We know sine x is maximum at 1, so it should have been we can rewrite this as well, like minus 10 into that 1 plus this 5. Okay, so our answer will be minus 5. Okay, our answer will be minus 5, but they have asked us to figure out the maximum value. Okay, they have asked us to figure out the maximum value. So to figure out the maximum value, we know the sin x graph is also maximum. The sin x graph is also maximum when the y value is minus 1. When the y value is minus 1. So rather than taking only this positive one, we can also take minus 1 as well. So minus 10 into minus 1 plus 5 is equals to 15. So out of these two, we will take the maximum one because they have asked us to figure out the maximum value. So here we will take this one as our correct answer. Okay. So there are some exceptions while taking the answer. So this is how you should omit one and take the other one. So the answer will be 15. So now we have to figure out theta value at which this 15 occurs. So we know this 15 occurs when the theta value is 278, when the degree is in 270. So it will be 270. The next part is 3 cos theta plus 20. First of all, it's a cos x, right? We can write it down as 3 cos x. This whole together is cos x, right? We can take it down as 3 cos x. So the maximum value of cosine graph comes at this, which is 1, right? The maximum value of cos x graph is 1. So we can multiply 3 with 1 because we always multiply this cos x maximum cos x value with the coefficient, right? Just like this one, so the sin x has been multiplied with 20, and this sin theta was multiplied with minus 10 and then added with 5. So here it will become 3. But this is not the end. The most important part becomes while figuring out the theta value right here. So now we have to figure out the smallest theta value at which this maximum occurs. So the smallest theta value at which this maximum occurs is 0. Okay, which is 0. So we know this x value is 0. So we can write when cos x is equals to 0 at that time, or we can also write actually when this x is equals to 0, because this is the degrees, right? The degrees are in x, right? This is in the x coordinate. So we can write when x is equals to 0, at that time this happens. When x is equals to 0, we know this is cos x graph, right? This altogether can be said as cos x, right? This altogether can be said as cos x. So when x is equals to 0, so this small portion is actually the x, right? So we can write theta plus 20 is equals to 0, which can be written as theta is equals to minus 20. But we cannot take a negative value. So if we get a negative value, we will keep adding 360 to it until it becomes a positive value. So now the positive value becomes 340. So this 340 is actually our correct answer. Okay, so these are some of the exceptions in different maths. Now here we will add it as it's positive 340. So the value becomes positive 340. Now next question is doing this math. So we have done 3 maths. Now please pause your video and try to do this by yourself, because it becomes really necessary to at least try and see how much you can answer. So please go it by yourself. Okay, please try this by yourself. Okay, so hopefully you guys have done it. Now as we have seen in these questions, that was in all these questions the sin x was multiplied with the coefficient, right? Sin theta was multiplied with 10, this was multiplied with 3. But here this sin theta, yes, it is multiplied with 3, but it is also divided by 2, right? 2 is divided by this. So basically what we will have to do is we have to figure out the sine graph. Now we know sin x, it is sin x, right? The sin x is maximum at 1, so we can write it down 10 plus 3 into 1, right? Which will become 13. And we can also take this negative sin x value as well, which is the maximum as well. So we can take 10 plus 3 into minus 1, which becomes 7. So now it's our decision which one we are going to take, whether we are taking this positive one or this positive value, which one we are going to take. Now this is 2. So we have asked to figure out the maximum value, and we know when this 2 will be divided with the bigger value. Okay, when something is divided by a bigger value, the outcome is a smaller value, and when something is divided by a smaller value, the outcome is a bigger value. So when you divide 2 by positive 7, at that time the maximum value will come. So that's why what we will do is we will take plus 7 as our correct answer. Okay, and we will take negative 1. So our correct answer will be plus 7. Okay, and here when does this plus 7 occurs? At 270 degree, right? So we'll take 270, and we will not write only plus 7, we will write the whole value, 2 divided by 7. Okay, we will write 2 divided by 7, because we always take the coefficients into account. Just like here we have multiplied the coefficients, where here we will also divide the coefficient. So the answer will be 2 by 7, and it will be. Now the main question arises, at what point this smallest theta value occurs. Okay, at what point this smallest theta value occurs. So we know this is 270, right? At 270 this minus 1 takes place. So we can write this sin x, this is sin x, right? And this is the x value. We know when x is equals to 270, this maximum value occurs. So we can write x is equals to 270, and we know this x is the theta value. So now theta minus 30 is equals to 270, where the theta is equals to 300, just like the way we have done the previous math. So here the theta will be 300. Here we will add 300. So this is how we actually do this kind of maths. Now we will solve a question paper math using this informations that we have learned till now, to master, or at least to look after how much we have learned. So you guys can solve this question by yourself by pausing the video, and then later on I'll be solving it as well for you guys so that you can check your answers with the one that I will be making. Alright guys, so now let's solve this math in this form. Okay, so here they have given us this maximum value and asked us to give the smallest possible value of theta at which it arises. Exactly the same question which we have um, seen previously. So now let's expand this one. Okay, we know this is a double angle formula which is r cos a minus b. So we know it will become r cos theta r cos alpha plus r sin theta sin alpha, right? It will become like this. And now we will compare this with this value. Okay, I will compare this with this value. Now let's compare them. We will write it down here, which is 12 cos theta plus 5 sin theta. Now if we compare them, we know there is a cos theta right here, there is a cos theta right here, there is a sin theta right here, there is a tan theta right here. The exception is r cos alpha, and here is 12. So we can write r cos alpha is equals to 12, and here we can write r sin alpha is equals to 5. So we have got two new expressions. Okay, now what we can do is, we know one formula, right? We know one formula which is we know a formula which is r cos alpha squared plus r sin alpha squared is equals to r squared, right? So what we'll do is we'll square them. So it will become 5 squared plus 12 squared is equals to r squared, from which we will figure out r as root over 5 squared plus 12 squared, which will become 13, right? Which will become 13. So our r is 13. Now we can also do tan alpha, because we know tan alpha is equals to sin alpha by cos alpha. We know tan alpha is equals to r sin alpha divided by r cos alpha, which will become 5 divided by 12. So we have figured our both the alphas. Now we have to figure out the alpha value by tan inverse. So alpha is equals to tan inverse of this value, so it will become 22.6 degrees. Now we can rewrite this expression. We can rewrite this expression now. Okay, we can rewrite this expression. We can rewrite the expression because we have got the r value as 13 and cos theta minus the alpha value as 22.6. So this is the new expression that we have figured out. Now this expression needs to be done in exactly the same way we have done these expressions, right? So let's do them together. So here this is 13 cos theta minus 27. This is cos x, right? This is cos x, and the cos x maximum value is at 1. We know the cos x maximum value is at 1, right? So we have to multiply 13 with 1, right? 13 into 1. And this is our maximum value. Our maximum value is 13. And when does this value occurs? This maximum value occurs when x is equals to 0. When the x is equals to 0, only at that time the maximum value occurs. So we can write that it occurs when the x is equals to 0, and we know this is our x. So it becomes theta minus 22.6 is equals to 0, and we know theta is equals to 22.6. So this is our final answer. So just in order to figure this out, we have to do a lot of things. So hopefully you guys have understood this trigonometric maxima and minima, and you guys won't face any more issues while solving this type of questions in the exam, as you guys have your exam in May 2025, October 2025, and Jan 26. And if you want to solve more question papers with us, join our high impact crash course or question papers marathon course for the next upcoming May 25, October 25, Jan 26, May 26, or any exams, before any exam sessions, um, we actually launch these two courses. And you can also join our long course as well if you wanna complete the whole syllabus with us. Though we will also complete the whole syllabus in the high impact crash course as well. So without wasting any more time, you guys can join us if you wanna ameliorate your exam marks, and the details of our course will pop in your screen in a second. So have a go at it. And if you wanna know more about us, our WhatsApp number will be given in the description box. You can message us directly, or you can even call us. And you can also message at our Facebook account as well. No matter whether you like WhatsApp or Facebook, message us